Welcome back to LBG Reviews, where this time it's not the blind guy who's hosting who needs the accessibility features. Be sure to like and subscribe. Today we'll be reviewing It Takes Two, a cooperative action-adventure game by Hazelight Studios released back in 2021. It Takes Two is a unique game where a couple, Cody and May, are struggling with relationship problems and they're on the verge of divorce. When they try to break the news to their young daughter Rose, Rose doesn't take too well to this information and runs away to a little hideaway where she talks to a book labeled the Book of Love by a Dr. Hakim and asks Dr. Hakim for help. Rose inadvertently ends up cursing her parents to take on the form of dolls that she has made to look like them. The game sees the players going through different locales in the family's home while Cody and May try to get back to their real bodies and talk with Rose about what's going on. It Takes Two has a bunch of different accessibility options. However, this week we'll be focusing on 3 of them: camera control sensitivity, aim sensitivity, and button mash simplification. While I'm talking about this, you should be seeing the accessibility features menu on screen right now. Of the 9 chapters in It Takes Two, the ones we'll be focusing on for the sake of talking about accessibility, we will be focusing on Chapter 2, Chapter 4, Chapter 5. Chapter 2 takes place within a tree in the family's yard where the couple are kidnapped by squirrels who force the couple to deal with a wasp nest within the tree. The squirrels outfit Cody and May with 2 makeshift guns. Cody gets a sap minigun. May gets a sniper rifle that shoots I'm not even sure what. It's important to note that It Takes Two is unique to a lot of other cooperative games, where in a lot of cooperative games one person needs to progress and then the other person can catch up in some way beyond that without the other person's help. It Takes Two, the game can only progress with both players working together and cooperating. It's also important to note for the Chapter 2 section that we will be focusing on aim sensitivity, and that normally when me and my mother play on the weekends, we are on opposite sides of the TV screen. So normally she would be playing as May and I would be playing as Cody, but as you can see on the bottom of your screen, I am playing as May, she is playing as Cody. As a result, she is unfamiliar with Cody's sap gun, and even though I'm more used to shooters, I am not used to having to aim at Cody's sap. My mother is the one that needs these accessibility features, so as a result, even though both of us will remain on screen, we will be focusing on her gameplay specifically when changing the settings. So here's a before we change aim sensitivity to showcase how my mom's aim is. And here's an after where we have doubled her aim sensitivity. My mom made some comments about how these settings helped her as we played for recording. She said that while the increase in speed helped her correct where she needed her camera to go, she ultimately struggles with just generally getting the camera to a point where she needs it to. When thinking about this, I would think that like for overall use, like if you're not aiming the gun specifically, the camera should honestly follow the character's back by default, and then if you move the camera then moves to show you what's over there, but then it'll snap back to the character's back once you start moving in. Now that does not help with actually aiming the sap gun, but it would help with if she needs to turn a corner but she's already aiming. It would help if she were to stop aiming and then the camera would lock onto Cody's back again. If it did that, I think it would help her a lot. Now for chapter 4, it sees Cody and May kidnapped by Rose's stuffed space baboon, who captures footage of the couple saying that they want to make Rose cry, which for context, Cody remembers telling stories to Rose where in order to break a curse you need people to cry, you need tears. So they think, alright, let's go make Rose cry, and the baboon doesn't like the fact that they're going to try to make Rose cry, so he stops you. Chapter 4 focuses very heavily on puzzle solving as May gets gravity moon boots gets magnetic moon boots that allow her to stick to specific walls, and Cody gains the ability to grow and shrink. As a result, we'll be focusing on overall camera sensitivity. This is another example why I think that the camera should lock onto the character's back while you're moving the character without touching the camera control. So here's before of how my mom does without touching her camera sensitivity. and here is gameplay after touching her camera sensitivity. And again, my mom says that the camera sensitivity helps with correcting where her camera needs to be pointed, but it still doesn't help with seeing where she needs to go. Alright, for chapter 5, I'm going to need to throw up a content warning here. Chapter 5, at least for the section we'll be focusing on, is a very graphic section. Well, I mean, not literally. I mean, there's no blood or gore, but we do dismember a stuffed elephant. So as a result, if you do not want to see dismemberment of a sentient, alive, stuffed elephant, and like if you were watching this with young children around, I would maybe consider skipping to the timestamp seen on screen. However, with that out of the way, I will say that even the game acknowledges that this is a messed up situation. I'm going to stop talking for a little bit, and I'm going to let game audio play for a little bit so you can hear the music.
Greetings, Your Majesty.
Hello.
Cutie, we don't want to do this, but we have to.
We have to make Rose cry! It's nothing personal, we just need to break this spell!
Good at this!
Yeah, with dead toys, not alive and screaming. We'll try to kill you softly!
Cody, you can't kill someone softly.
You're not helping our case here.
My foot is stuck!
Hurry! Before she escapes!
We're really sorry for this!
Yeah, we don't like violence! Go! We gotta get her to the edge of the bookshelf!
Cat's on the other side! Come on, grab her!
You're scaring me! Where are you taking me? Please stop!
Someplace quiet and safe.
Friends are supposed to help each other! Rose! Rose, help me!
This is horrible! I feel so evil!
No, me too. I'll need therapy after this.
Oh, yeah?
Maybe we could ask that book!
Are you crazy? We need to see a professional after this!
Wait, my ear!
I think she's tricking us. Pull me! Oh, it wasn't a trick.
What? Everything is fuzzy.
Don't tell us that!
As you can hear, even the music is very unsettling, and even Cody and May are very distraught at the fact that they've got to do this. Even Cody calls out the fact that he needs therapy after doing this. This section will be used to showcase simplified button mashing, as this section is one of the most button mashing heavy sections of the game. And so as a result, when we get to the simplified button mashing portion, I will zoom in on Mom's button mashing gauge to spare you from having to watch a second run of the elephant's death. Oh, and to further add to the distress of the whole situation, the elephant is named Cutie. She is the queen of the magic castle. Here's before we touched simplified button mashing. Here is after we've touched simplified button mashing. As you can see, my mom really struggled with button mashing without simplified button mashing, and with simplified button mashing you'll see that even still she occasionally lets the meter drop a little bit. That's largely because she forgets that she has to keep pressing the button to keep the meter filled while she's waiting on me. My mom's comment on this setting is that because it's important to note that when we were playing on our own without recording, I had turned on the setting just to help out Mom with her button mashing, just to make it easier so that way she didn't have to get so worked up about it. And then when we recorded this, she realized that, oh, all these weeks I thought I was getting better at button mashing, when in reality, no, I wasn't. We just had simplified button mashing on. She said that it can give you a false sense of security in that way, and a false sense of improvement, but that she really appreciates the setting. All in all, I would give It Takes Two a 7 out of 10 for accessibility. The accessibility options they offer are really nice, especially for people with motor skill problems. I would say that this is a prime example of how accessibility options are important, not just for people with disabilities, but anybody who needs them. If you can't get through a game without turning up the contrast, turning up the brightness, without simplifying button mashing, without other accessibility options, but you are otherwise an able-bodied person, there is no shame in it. There are games that, even as a disabled person, where I know that I could get through them without any assistance, but sometimes, like a game called Islets that I'll eventually review, where the game offers you complete invincibility, and I'll be honest, even though I knew I could get through Islets no problem, I turned on invincibility at times when I was just getting too frustrated with the boss to deal with it. So, that It Takes Two video, huh? Yeah, look, originally this whole announcement at the end of the video was supposed to be a lot grander. There would have been face cam and all that. But I'm sitting here in the editing stage, looking at it, listening to it. It sounds like crap. The audio's all echoey. No editing magic would be able to make it sound as crisp as what you hear right now. As a result, here we are. So what's going on? In February, March of this year, I participated in a study conducted by students from the University of Michigan Flint, where their study was dedicated to finding new ways to make gaming accessible for people with disabilities. And during their study, they showed off some concepts that they had created using The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild as a template for some of their examples. and I really liked their examples and I really liked the concepts that they showed off. So I reached out to them a few weeks back because I was really excited for Tears of the Kingdom and asked them, hey, would you be okay with providing me with some of those concept images? And I will credit you in the description of my video and talk about your study when the video comes out. They agreed, said it was a great idea, and I will have some images to show off regarding some of the concepts I talk about in that video once it comes out next week. Big thank you to the Accessibility Gaming team over at the University of Michigan. It was a huge honor participating in your study. That was the first of anything like that I'd ever done. And it's really cool that you guys agreed to provide me with these concepts. Speaking as a pretty much almost lifelong fan of Nintendo and a few year long fan of the Zelda series, it means a lot to have such nice and concise looking examples to show off during a video like that. And the best part about the video is that it will be released on the day that Tears of the Kingdom releases. Now, due to some trips and vacations coming up, I won't have a Tears of the Kingdom video out for some time. Maybe July, maybe even August, depending on how things go, but I do want to do a Tears of the Kingdom video. But for now, see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed.